That morning, Marija got up and got ready for work when her phone rang. It was her best friend, Ivana. The two have been inseparable since childhood. Ivana sounded upset, but she didn't want to say what was happening right away. "I need to see you right away," Ivana said, her voice seeming to be hiding something. "Let's meet at our usual place in an hour." Maria, confused but worried about her friend, decided to take the morning off from work. She got into the car and headed towards the small cafe where the two of them often spent time together. As she drove, she felt uneasy, but she couldn't pinpoint why. She had always trusted Ivana, but this time she felt that something was wrong. When she arrived, Ivana was already there. She sat nervously stirring the coffee. Her face was pale and her hands were shaking slightly. "What's going on?" Maria asked, trying to hide her concern. Ivana was silent for a long time before she finally spoke. "Maria, I have to tell you something I never thought I would have to," she began. "I don't know how to tell you this, but Marco. Your Marco was approaching me." Maria's heart skipped a beat. Her fiance, Marco, with whom she planned a joint future, was the person she trusted the most. She felt her whole world collapse in one moment. "What are you talking about?" She managed to speak after a few seconds of silence. "He's been sending me messages for months, trying to seduce me," Ivana continued, now looking Maria straight in the eyes. "I ignored him. I didn't want to tell you anything, but last night he tried to kiss me. I couldn't stay silent anymore." Maria felt her stomach tighten. At that moment, her whole world seemed to be spinning. How could the person he loves and trusts betray him in such a brutal way? But something in Ivan's look made her pause. Her story was too perfectly told, too prepared. She began to question Ivana's motives. She remembered all those times when Ivana seemed too close to Mark, but she always ignored it. Ivana was always there, always present. "Why now?" Maria asked, her eyes fixed on Ivan. "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" Ivana paused for a moment, and her expression changed. "I didn't mean to break your heart, but I realized I can't go on with this." Maria took a deep breath and realized that she had to find out the truth. She decided to confront Mark. That night, when Marco came home, Maria was cold. She couldn't hide the doubt that was bubbling beneath the surface. Marco noticed her tension and tried to relax her by talking, but she broke the silence. "Marco, Ivana told me something that we need to clarify," she said quietly, looking him directly in the eyes. Marco froze, but showed no fear. "What is it about?" he asked calmly. "She told me you've been chasing her for months, that you tried to kiss her last night." Marco held his breath for a moment and then let out a long sigh. "Ivana is lying," he said firmly. "She's trying to turn you against me. Maria, she's always been jealous of us." Maria was confused. Mark's words made sense, but could she really believe it? After a short silence, he continued. "Ivana tried to get close to me several times, and I protected you from that. I didn't want to tell you because I knew it would be difficult for you. But last night she went too far, and now she's trying to turn the story against me." Maria stood between two fires. Should she trust the man she loves, or the friend she's trusted all her life? Her heart told her one thing, but her mind wasn't sure. She went into the bedroom without a word, leaving Mark in silence. The next day, Maria decided to find out the truth in her own way. She found Ivana's phone, which she once forgot with her. She managed to unlock it and read the messages between her and Mark. The truth was brutal. Ivana really tried to get close to Mark, but he kept rejecting her. However, there were also messages in which they agreed to present everything as Ivana's version of the story. Everything was a setup. Ivana wanted to destroy Mark and Maria's relationship out of envy. She felt her world falling apart, but this time she was sure of one thing: she wouldn't let anyone manipulate her anymore. She went straight to Ivana and confronted her, ending their friendship forever. Also, She decided to move on without Mark, because they both lost her trust. Maria left the city, determined to start a new life, far from lies and betrayal. The story shows intricate relationships and how jealousy and deception can destroy trust, but also how strength can come from facing the truth.